Topic today is the online fandom and the Beatle fandom, obviously. So, we're going to start off by talking about fanfiction.
Fanfiction.
Gina, do you write fanfiction?
I used to. When I started out as a Beatle fan, I stumbled across John Hart Paul, and they convinced me that John and Paul were... Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it now, because I'm so past that. I really don't think it ever happened. I enjoy messing around about that journal on LiveJournal, but as far as actually believing if they were together, I don't believe it. But I did used to write fiction about that, but I don't anymore, no. I wrote one full-length sort of novella called Yesterday. Did you ever read it?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
My first fanfiction I ever wrote was a Beatles fanfiction.
Really?
Yeah. That was pretty
You didn't tell me that either, Scooby-Doo. She's coming up with all these stories.
It was about 12 pages long. And for me that was big. I had never written a fanfiction before, so I thought 12 pages was like amazing.
What was it about?
It was like one of those stupid fics where it was me, actually wrote one of me and my friends into it, and we found a time machine and we met the Beatles.
That's awesome. That's seriously awesome.
So back to the pairings and slash, like what do you enjoy now, since you said you were over John and Paul?
I think the most believable slash pairings that I see around the online fandom are Brian John. I feel are possible, could have happened. I don't think it was a relationship, and I don't think they ever had sex, but I think maybe a little toss-off or something in Barcelona could have happened, and that makes for interesting fan fiction. I enjoy reading that fan fiction. And
have you ever written it?
Oh, I've written a lot of Brian John. I really like Brian John. And John Stew, I like. But as
what
far
about
as
non-slash, like guy-girl kind of things?
My favorite pairing is... I'm pretty sure it's just me and my friend who actually pair these two. And that's John and Jane Asher. But that's probably my favorite het pairing that never happened in real life.
But hey, it's okay to dream.
Exactly.
John's was a dreamer. We can be too.
Hilarious. What's the next topic? Let's move on.
Wife bashing.
What is it?
Wife bashing.
Oh!
Like Yoko bashing, Heather bashing, Cynthia bashing.
What do you think about wife bashing?
I think
Do you bash on the wives, Loren?
I used to.
I have a feeling that you do.
I used to.
Okay.
But
Who'd you bash on?
I bashed pretty hard on Yoko, actually.
You are a bitch. I love Yoko.
I like her now too, but I used to hate her like so much.
That's because there's a lot of naivety in the fandom about Yoko, because people just believe right off the bat without doing any sort of research or anything that she broke up the Beatles and she brainwashed John, and I honestly don't believe that.
Yeah.
I believe John was a strong enough character to make his own decisions, and I don't think he would let someone
Walk all over him.
all over him.
He's
And
not
that's-
that kind of person.
Exactly. And as for Heather Mills, come on now. Come on. Paul, what were you smoking? Because I don't want none of that. Whatever you were smoking, give it to yourself, Paul.
I hope he quit, whatever that was.
Yeah.
So what about the, fans of a certain Beatle act toward, fans of them, like, John fans might hate Paul fans, or, things like that. Or maybe they're nicer, or, like, when I was a John person, like, for some reason, all the people I came in contact with, once they found out I was a fan of John, well, I'm a fan of George now, but, I started out being a John person. There was, like, I felt kind of like alienated, for some reason. I guess it was just the type of fans I was around. They weren't keen on John or something.
See, it's really weird because I totally know what you're talking about. It's usually Paul fans, I find, are usually the most annoying. And I know people can flame me for that.
You were a Paul girl once.
I was. I started out as a Paul girl, and it was fun times. He's an attractive guy. I still highly respect him. I still love him to pieces, don't get me wrong.
You love all of them pieces, really.
Wow.
That's what we're here for.
Well, yeah. But it just seems that Paul fans, especially online Paul fans, are insane. Like, they bash on Yoko, they just absolutely hate Yoko. They bash on John a lot of times. And at the basis of the Beatles was their friendships. Yeah. And to see the fans tearing each other apart because of their loyalty to one another of the boys just kills me. And
yeah.
I
feel bad for the flack that Ringo fans get. You know, sometimes they'll get, you know, because Ringo's seen as like, you know, the unimportant one or whatever. Like the fans will get looked down.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. And the George fans, I don't know, besides you,
yeah,
if I've ever really talked to many George fans. I think you guys hide out.
Yeah.
Or something.
Pretty stealthy.
Because I don't know, but I know the Macca fans are
sometimes
mean.
How about the older fans versus the newer fans and what makes a true fan and all that stuff?
Ooh. What annoys me about a lot of Beatle fans, especially online Beatle fans, it doesn't take much for someone to say a fact wrong. Oh.
Like maybe they get Ringo's birthday wrong.
Exactly, and then some other fan Wikipedia articles it and realizes that the other one was wrong, and then they just rip them apart. We all have to start somewhere. I mean, we were all new Beatles fans.
We were noobs at one point.
Noobs. We all had, yeah, we were all dipped in noob sauce at one point.
Yeah.
So,
why hate? Why not, instead of, you know, criticizing somebody for saying George's birthday wrong or something, why not, you know...
Actually, there's disputes about when George's birthday was.
Exactly.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, you know...
You're an idiot for not knowing that!
But, you know...
Angry face.
But, you know, like, why not, you know, try to, you know, take them under your wing and guide them to, the, you know... Create a new fan, don't create a war, you know, basically.
Exactly.
Make love, not war.
A lot of, I call them elitists, a lot of the older fans in the fandom are just haters. The line between true fan and sort of casual fan or
it's a thin line.
Bandwagon fan, a lot of people are crazy about that, man. They're serious. This is our fandom, this is what you have to be a fan, etc., etc. It's crazy.
Yeah. And we've kind of been talking about personal fandom experiences, I guess, through this whole thing, really, like, the wife bashing and whatever, but, like, just something that stuck out in your mind, like, at one point?
Really, the John Hart Paul, or the John Paul / community on LiveJournal is sort of what got me into, because when I Googled, what did I Google? Probably Beatle fanfiction. It led me to that community. So,
and then you joined LiveJournal because of it, right?
Right, just to see that community. And then I ended up joining an RPG, which we haven't talked about, but it's a role-playing game where you play a character and other people play their characters and you respond back and forth as your character. And I ended up playing as John. And that's sort of what led me into being a John fan from a Paul fan, because I had to learn a lot about John to be able to play John.
And then you kind of identified with him more, right?
Yes,
when you found
yes.
out his past.
And it just made me realize a lot about him, and it sort of helped me. So I like the online fandom for doing that for me, because, you know, otherwise I would have just been swimming around, like, not being able to know anything. So...
It's kind of, the personal fandom experience kind of been with me for a while, but, you know, LiveJournal's a good place for the fandom, and I think that's where I'm mostly at on online fandom is LiveJournal.
Me too. I'm not really into the Yahoo groups and that other stuff. I usually just stick to LiveJournal.
It's pretty cool. So this was our other duel video. It's pretty awesome. We got to interview each other about Beatlesness.
This will be happening every so often throughout the week. We're thinking maybe on Sundays we'll do the duel videos, and it might not be every Sunday, it might be every other Sunday, something of that nature. Or we might just
do it whenever the hell we want.
Do it whenever we want. Because we are the founders of the channel and we have the final say on what can happen and what can't happen.
Fist bump.